Yo, 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 what's good, everybody? It's your boy Duck Zone 503, man, coming at you in all kind of different ways about Oregon football, man. And today we're going to talk about the new coaching hires for the 2022 season. Specifically, this video is going to be about the defensive hires. Now, I just made a video about the offensive hires and head coach Dan Lanning in that video as well, going over these new hires, looking at their coaching history, looking at what they did with their teams, getting a feel for these new hires because it's a brand new staff across the board. We got all new position coaches to the head coach to analysts. Man, we got all new people. So I just want to I went ahead and wrote some notes down, trying to get more familiar with these coaches, break it down for you. So let's get into the video, y'all. Let's not hold y'all no longer. If y'all not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to join the family, man. If you ain't subscribed already, Duck Zone. If you a Duck fan, man, let's talk about it. Leave a comment. I love to know y'all thoughts on the coaching staff. Give me a thumbs up. Let's that video go up, and it lets me reach more Duck fans and more college football fans out there. Welcome. All right. So starting out, we got the co-defensive coordinator slash safeties coach, Matt Powledge here. Matt Powledge, I hope I'm saying his last name right. Former team was Baylor. He was the special teams coordinator and safeties coach there from the 2020 season to 2021 season. He's 34 years old. That's something we've been seeing with this coaching staff. On the defensive side, the staff is a little more older, but 34 years old for Matt Powledge, still a young coach. He played college football at Sam Houston State University as a fullback from 2005 to 2009. So Sam Houston State played fullback there. Then he got into coaching in 2010 at Southeastern Louisiana as a GA. Then next year later, he got promoted at the tight end positions coach at Southeastern Louisiana. 2012, he becomes the running backs coach at Northwestern State. Then 2013, he goes to Kentucky as a GA. 2014, 2015, he goes to Sam Houston State as a special teams coordinator and a running backs coach. Then from 2016 to 2017, he goes to Louisiana Monroe as a special teams coordinator and a tight ends coach. Then he goes to Louisiana University as a special teams coordinator and offensive linebackers coach. 2020 to 2021, he was Baylor's special teams coach and safeties coach. Now, Baylor had a really good defense this season, so it's something to keep track there. First year in a big-time program like Baylor. Now, they're not the biggest program, but better than Louisiana University, and I'm just saying. So that's pretty good. Let's go over Baylor's 2021 defensive stats here. They held their opponents to about 20 points per game, which was top 20 in college football, number 16 there. Opponents' yards per game, 355 yards. So that's number 36 college football, top half of college football. Not top 25, but still pretty good. Opponents' yard per play, their opponents were averaging about 5 yards per play, which is middle of the pack, number 44 in college football. Could be a little better there. Third down conversion percentage, 36%. The Baylor Bears held a 36% third down conversion percentage on defense. That was number 31 ranked in college football. Now this is something that is a bad stat, a negative stat here. Opponent red zone scoring. Now they would allow their opponent to score. Now it's very hard to, hold teams in the red zone. Don't get me wrong, but 86% of the time they're allowing teams to score when they get down there. That's for number 93, lower half of college football. So you definitely want to see that, especially with being a safeties coach. You're going to want to see those safeties, lock it down in the red zone. Opponents' yards per rush, they really locked down the rush yards, though. They're up front with only allowing 3.5 yards per carry and only allowing 115 yards per game rushing for their opponents, number 14 all college football. So I'm really excited about this hire. Just seeing how well the Baylor Bears defense played. He doesn't have much West Coast connections, looking at his coaching history and where he played. So how is he going to recruit over here is a big question. So we'll see. Welcome to the staff, Matt Powledge. Let's move on here to another co-defensive coordinator here, slash edge coach. So he's going to be running the edge players, the DNs, the stuff like that. So Tosh Lapoy, coming from the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was the NFL's coach, the D-lineman coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's 40 years old, so a little more older there. He was a D lineman for Cal, actually. He played for the California Golden Bears from 2000 to 2005. And he's also a two-time college football playoff national champion with Alabama in 2015 and 2017 as a coach there. So that's something to keep in mind. NFL experience, Alabama experience, really good things there. Let's go over his coaching history. So 2008 to 2011, he coached at Cal as the D-line coach. Then he moved on to Washington from 2012 to 2013 as the D-line coach there. Then he moves on to Alabama, one of the best programs in the nation, as a defensive analyst from 2014 to 2015. 2016, he gets outside linebackers coaching positions. 2017, he actually becomes the co-defensive coordinator there and the outside linebackers coach. 2018, he becomes the official defensive coordinator and outside linebackers coach. He moves on to the NFL in 2019 and becomes the Cleveland Browns D-line coach. 2020, he goes to Atlanta Falcons, becomes a defensive line coach there and the run game coordinator. And then, as we know, this last year, he was the D-line coach for Jacksonville Jaguars before becoming the co-defensive coordinator / edge coach here. So really good things there. Let's see Jacksonville's defensive rankings, NFL rankings of 2021. They really ranked bottom half in the NFL in all stat categories. I'm just going to be honest here, except opponents' yards per rush. Now, him being the D-line coach there, that's the D-line work at there. They held their opponents' yards per rush, only allowing 4.2 yards per carry, which was number 14 in the NFL, middle of the pack there. But, I mean, that's their best stat category, and him being the D-line coach, that says something there. So this is a very home run hire, in my opinion. I'm very excited to see him paired up with Lanning and see what he can do with Flo and Sewell and those edge guys. And, oh, man, it's going to be really awesome. He's a two-time national champion working with Saban at Alabama. He wanted to coach in the NFL, but as you can see, the teams he went to, these guys, they were bad defensive teams to begin with. So, you know, and only being there 1 year, you know, it's kind of hard to do. He's connected on the West Coast, man, coaching at UW, Cal, playing at Cal, has NFL coaching experience. That's going to be a great recruiting pitch. This is a great hire. I think this is going to be awesome for our linebackers. And yeah, I can't wait to see what he does. So here we go. So he was let's see. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm scrolling up here. So yeah, Tosh Lapoy there. Tosh Lapoy. I just wanted to make sure I got his name right. He's going to be our edge coach for our edge guys, our DNs. And then we have a D-line coach, Tony Tuitoy. I hope I'm saying this right. Tony Tuitoy. His former team was Nebraska, who coached the D-line there for the Cornhuskers from 2019 to 2021. He played D-line at Hawaii in the late 90s. So that's something to note there. Let's go over his coaching history here. So he started out in 2000. Back in the 2000s, he started at Hawaii as a grad assistant for the defense. Then for 2003, from 2003 to 2004, he jumped to Kaleo High School as the head coach there in Hawaii. Then he took a break from 2004 to 2007, it looks like. And in 2007, he ended up at Nevada, coaching a high school there as the defensive coordinator. And in 2008, 2009, he goes to Hawaii as director of player personnel. 2010, 2011, he becomes the assistant head coach and runs the D-line officially in 2010, 2011 at Hawaii. 2012, 2013 in Hawaii, he becomes the assistant coach and linebackers coach. Then he jumps to the NFL in 2014 to 2015. He goes to the Cleveland Browns as the assistant coach and assistant defensive line / quality control person. 2016, he goes to Michigan as a director of player personnel. Then 2017, he goes to Cal as an assistant coach, outside linebackers. Evan Weaver was there at that time. 2018, Cal assistant coach. He jumps from the outside linebackers to the D-line. And then 2019, he went to Nebraska to coach the D-line. Now he's coming to Oregon to coach the D-line. Let's go ahead and check out Nebraska's 2021 rankings. Now their opponent yards per rush, they're at 4.2 yards per carry, number 67 in the nation, middle of the pack there. I can't argue with 4.2 yards. Maybe bring it down a little bit, but that's pretty good overall. And opponents' rush yards per game held them to 149. That's middle of the pack again. I think it's good. It's not impressive, but it's middle of the pack there. And Nebraska wasn't impressive this year. You look where he's been, and those Cal teams, they had good linebackers with Evan Weaver, and they were really good, and they had pesky defenses at Cal. He has some NFL experience, there at the Cleveland Browns, and he's a good recruiter, and he's West Coast connected. So that's something you're seeing with this defensive staff and the staff overall is they're either good recruiters or they're West Coast connected, or they're a little bit of both. And some of them even have NFL experience, which is great, especially, talking to young recruits. It's always a selling point. So now we move on to the inside linebackers / special teams coach here. Now, this is something I'm really excited for because our special teams kind of took a drop off. Not many returns. We allowed returns, not very good special teams play, this year. So Joe Laurig, coming from Penn State, he was their special teams coach and also outside linebackers coach there. He's 48 years old, so one of the older guys on the staff. He played DB at Western Oregon. So shout out from being here, Western Oregon. I actually went on a field trip in my high school year to Western Oregon. Great university. They had us choose a couple of universities out there. I couldn't go to U of O because they weren't doing a Portland to Eugene trip, but they did take us out to Western Oregon. It was cool to check out. So that was cool. So he was let's get into his coaching history. So he coached DBs at Western Oregon from 97 to 98. Then from 99 to 2000, he coached at Idaho State. He coached the corners there. 2001 to 2002, Idaho State. He then moved to linebackers coach instead of corners coach. Then 2003 to 2006, he served as the defensive coordinator at Idaho State, taking over the whole defense there. 2007, he went to UTEP to coach the linebackers. And a year later, from 2008 and to 2011, he went to Central Washington as the assistant head coach and defensive coordinator there at Central Washington. And then 2012 to 2013, he was at Arizona State as a special teams coordinator and corners coach. 2014 to 2015, he went to Utah State as linebackers and safeties coach there. 2016 to 2018, he spent 2 years at Memphis, special teams coordinator and outside linebackers coach there. 2019 to 2021, went to Penn State, special teams coordinator and outside linebackers coach there. And then 2022 at Oregon, he'll be the special teams coordinator and taking responsibilities with the inside linebackers as well. So this is a good, solid hire with the experience, and it is connected on the West Coast. I mean, yeah, he played here at Western Oregon. So, solid hire, not a home run, not a out of the park, not a brand name, but by any means, but solid hire for sure. Let's move on to the corners coaches now. A corner coach. We got Demetrius Martin. And shout out Demetrius Martin, man. He followed me on Instagram, retweeted some things on Twitter, Ducks on Twitter, man. Welcome to the family. If you watching this, Demetrius, I can't wait to see your son. His son committed here. A great athlete for the 2023 class to get it started. Let's go. So yeah, he's his former team. He was the DB coach at Colorado in the 2021 season. 48 years old, one of the older guys on the staff, more mature, played at Michigan State as a wide receiver and a DB from 92 to 95. So let's go. So, I always look at, if you coach the position, did you play it? And he did. So that checks that category. Coaching history. So he started out in 99. From 2000, he coached high school football. From 2001 to 2002, he coached DBs at Pasadena City College. Then he moved on from 2003 to 2005. He Mount Sac. He coached DBs there. Then 2006, 2007, he went to USC as a GA. 2009, 2011, he went to Washington as their corners coach there. 2012 to 2017, he spent some time at UCLA as their DBs coach. 2018, 2019, he moved to Arizona as their corner coaches. And then 2020 to 2021, he moved to Colorado as their corner coach. Now 2022, he'll be the corners coach for Oregon as well. So Pac-12 connected there. Colorado defensive rankings 2021. So opponent completion percentage, they allowed 61%, which was number 74. Opponent's yards per pass, averaging 7 yards per pass, number 61 in all the nation, and opponents' pass yards per game, allowing 242 yards pass per game, number 82 in the nation. So not impressive stats really that I could find with Colorado's defense. It is kind of questionable based off, Colorado's defensive pass performance. And, I look at all these other teams he's coached during the years, there's not really dominant defenses that he coached. So there is a little bit of questionability, but I believe in the guy. The fact that he's, connected in the West Coast, there's a positive I see in his son, Cole Martin. He's gonna come in and do big things, and, having that father-son connection is very special. And I think it's a solid hire. I think it's real solid, and he has a lot to prove. So taking over a good defense, let's see what he can do with it. All right, so my thoughts overall on the staff that covers the defensive staff. Let's cover some positives here. So a little more experienced and older than the offensive staff. That's definitely a positive. When you got guys coaching the defense with the athletes we have on defense, Oregon's recruiting. We've got a lot of defensive guys. The last recruiting classes were filled with a whole bunch of defensive talent there. So it's going to be good to see guys that are experienced, take over these guys and lead them in the right direction. Lanning and Tosh Lupoi is going to be a great combination for development and recruiting. I mean, this is a great combination. You have the guy from Alabama in 2018 who took that defense and made it what it was. Then you have Dan Lanning, Georgia's defensive coordinator on this year, what it was. And now you're going to be combining those minds with the athletes that Oregon's bring in on defense these last couple of years. I mean, get ready. It's going to be a gangrene. We're going back to gangrene defense here. So overall, it's a mix of good recruiters and West Coast connected guys. When Dan Lanning came in, one thing was like, okay, he's all the way from the Southeastern Conference in Georgia. How well is he connected out here in the West Coast? Well, he knows other guys that's been out here, and he'll find the way, and he'll find the guys that will find guys out here, and knows the pipelines and all that. So I'm not at all worried. I think this coaching staff has a lot of potential. I think this coaching staff has a lot of hungry guys that want to prove themselves, and they have the opportunity at Oregon to really do it with the athletes that are here, especially at this time. Now let's get into some negatives before we end the video. Every coaching staff is statistically from bad teams. Now, I don't know how much we can get in debates all day about, is it the coaching? Is it the players? Is it the head office, when it comes to the NFL? So I'm not really, hung up on that, but it is something to take note of. Certain positions don't have much experience. So there is certain, places on this team, especially the running backs coach. I know he's on the offensive side. But yeah, the running backs coach and stuff don't have a lot of experience, especially at like big time programs like Oregon. But, that's what makes them hungry. That's what makes them want to prove themselves. So, that covers the defense. So I'm excited. That covers the 2022 staff overall. If you didn't check out the offensive hires video that I made, go check that out. And man, I'm excited. Let's go Ducks. And I'll be coming out with more videos, such as I'm going to have some guys coming on. We'll have some interviews, some fan chats, some nice people I met on Twitter. I'm hoping to get Sports Chat 503 on here. Sports Illustrated, Ducks Digest, Max Torres. Some guys you guys go check out right now. If you haven't heard of them, great guys that cover the Ducks. And I'm just getting into it and they've been doing it for a while. So go check those guys out. I'm hoping to get them on my channel very soon. And everybody have a good day and go Ducks.